Hey guys, it's Christine, and I just wanted to jump on here today because it's the end of 2019. We're starting a brand new year, and I want to challenge you with some stuff that you may or may not be hearing in your newsfeed, but I'm pretty sure that this is going to go against the grain of what some of you are doing. So, it's the new year. What do most people do? Let's set some new goals. Let's set some resolutions. What are we going to make things happen? And I see my social media feed is getting inundated with this stuff right now. Let's plan 2020. And this is the thing I want you to stop. I want you to recognize I'm going to be radical, raw, real with you. And this is not to poop on your parade or whatever. But the reality is 99% of people who set goals or make resolutions don't actually follow through. Eek! So why? I want to talk about it. I want to talk about the truth. I'm not going to sit here and blow smoke and sunshine up and say, oh, let's all go out and make all these goals and start tomorrow and go full on and then not be able to sustain it. I'm so done with that model. I'm so done with that old school model of setting goals or making resolutions or chasing success that honestly hasn't worked for 99% of people. What I want to invite you to do is something totally different, okay? I want you to, instead of thinking about being more, chasing more, doing more, I want to invite you into what if there's a totally different way to actually create more purpose, more fulfillment, more energy, more love in my life without the hustle, without the constant chasing, without feeling overwhelmed and always behind, without feeling less than inadequate and all of this stuff. What if there's a different way that's more flow and more ease and more magnetic and more manifesting? And I'm here to tell you that there is. So the reason why I'm standing in front of this amazing image is I've decided this is my image, this is my office. You guys are in my office with me. And I put this picture up because it is that image of just flow. That is what 2020 is going to be about. I've chosen last year, 2019 for me was a year of radical expansion, transformation, growth. I did some deep, deep spiritual work. A lot of you have heard about it. If not, you will be hearing about it. But I went for a deep dive because I hit a point where I realized that what was working for me was no longer working for me anymore. What worked for me for many, many years, which was this old school model of chasing, hustling, grinding, chasing success, just wasn't working for me anymore. I was constantly looking for the next thing to get that hit of feeling amazing about myself or amazing about the accomplishment. I always felt behind. I started to notice in my colleagues and a lot of the people in the groups that I was part of, and I was like, what is going on? What are we doing here? This is not in alignment with who I want to be. So the last year, I really took the time to go deep and connect with my heart, connect with my soul, connect with my truth, and discover what is it that I'm being called to do? What is it that I'm being called to speak on and teach on and coach people through and work through myself? What is it that my soul really desires? And what type of flow and ease and relationship do I want? And I tell you guys that the minute I got so crystal clear on that, I'm talking about so crystal clear that I drew a line in the sand and said, no more, I am not doing that, things started to show up. And people call them synchronicities. I call it manifestation because I have evidence of that happening, and I have a process that I take people through. But I will tell you, it starts with getting so clear and drawing a line in the sand. So here's the deal. Last year was all about this beautiful transformation. And that's why I'm so passionate about helping people transform and get back to their heart, to get back to their soul. Because man, your heart, your soul is desperately crying out to you. And so many of us are disconnected. So that was step one. But as I'm heading into 2020, what I'm doing this year from this place is radically different than I've done in the past. In the past, I would have had my planning guide, I would have had all my goals, I would have had my vision stuff, I would have been casting my vision for the future and right away jumping into strategy of what am I going to do to make this happen? And that was always my question. What am I going to do? 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 And that became really stressful. And I realized that all this doing all the time required a lot of energy, a lot of effort, and a lot of times it was like me pushing against myself all the time. What I realized this year is that there is no more that I have to do or chase or be. It's about actually stopping to unveil, unlearn some of these patterns that are no longer working for me, that maybe did work at one point, right? This old model of success may have worked at some point, but it's no longer working anymore. What are some of the thoughts, the behaviors, the energies, the social circles, the environments that used to work for me, but they no longer line up. They're no longer resonating with my heart. They're no longer resonating with the future I want to create and call in. And let me get radical about what those are. So this 2020, this year, the first step before you make any goals, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing with my closest clients, is to dive deep into awareness, which is getting raw and real about before you make one goal, because I guarantee if you set a goal, it might be from your old identity, it might be from your old thought process, or you might be trying to set a new goal, but with old patterns, and it won't stick. Did you hear that? If you're trying to set a goal or create a new business or find a new partner, this dream soulmate partner of yours, and you still have the old program running, the old identity, the old beliefs, the old patterns, the old habits, guess what's going to happen? You are going to work your ass off to chase something for a while, and then you're going to get sick of doing it because it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be flowing. So the number one thing I want to invite you to do is stop what you've done in the past, stop what you're hearing all around social media to plan, set goals, set goals, set goals. Instead, I want you to get raw and real, make a list, get a piece of paper, get a journal, and start thinking about, as I move forward into the life I really want to create, what are the patterns, the thoughts, the behaviors, the environments that I'm still engaging in that no longer serve me for my future? Like, really just be aware. And if you're not sure what you want to create yet, because this is where people get really tripped up, they don't know. In fact, that's one of the questions when I ask people, they get so upset and so stressed out because they don't really know what they want. And I don't blame you, because it's hard when you're cloudy and you're foggy and you're overwhelmed. It's hard to figure out, and you end up chasing things that other people are telling you that you want. But what you do know is what you're sick and tired of. What you do know is what's draining your energy. What you do know are the things that don't make you feel alive. They don't make you feel expansive. In fact, they make you feel stressed. They make you feel anxious. They make you feel constricted. They make you feel like you're downgrading, like they're not bringing out your soul, your heart, your happiness. You have to struggle through them. Okay? So this is an important step, guys, because it's like having a closet, a house. Your body is like a vessel, and it's full, right? Our vessel is full. We're full of all this data and information and energy that we've been attaching to. And so when something's full, a container's full, and we go out and we get excited about all the new shiny objects and the new things we're going to do and the new friendships we're going to have and the new business opportunities and the new body we're going to create, and we try to go and bring that stuff into this container that's already overflowing of crap, guess what happens? There's no room. There's no energetic container for the new stuff to come in, because it's full of all the old energy, it's full of all the old beliefs, it's full of all the old patterns, and there's just no room for the new one. So you can go set goals, you can go vision cast of all the things, but until you get real about what needs to come out of the container, it's going to take a lot of effort. So what I want to invite you in is to a way to start to allow more flow, more ease into your life, and that is by starting to unlearn the patterns of your past, to start to unlearn some of the thoughts, the behaviors, the beliefs, and to disengage with the energy and associations you've attached to those things, those experiences of your past. So step number one, as we head into this new year, is to grab a piece of paper or a journal and ask yourself truly, radically, what is it that is no longer serving me? Really, that I get to like literally rip out of this closet, out of this vessel, and it no longer serves me. I'm done with it. I'm drawing a line in the sand. And as I remove it, as I look at it first, awareness step number one, I create room for something new. Now, we're not going to resolve it all and learn it all in the first session. However, I will tell you that awareness is the first step. So as you do so, as you recognize it and you say no more, and you start to create space, you can talk about what you want to pull in. You become radically aware as you move through the days. When you start to default back to that old t-shirt, that ugly old t-shirt, you know, that you don't want to wear, that old pattern, that old way of behaving or talking, you start to see yourself and go, whoa, I don't want to wear this thing. And you have a moment of awareness and you can make a choice to take it off, okay? You can make a choice to step into the new. So guys, I just wanted to share this with you because this is a critical first step that's often missed, and people jump right to strategy instead of getting real about where they're at, what they've been doing up until this point. Because if you start tomorrow and you're doing the same shit you've been doing the whole time, you're just going to get more of the same shit. Okay? So I don't want that to happen to you. So I'm going to challenge you to face your shit as you head into the new year. Look at it head on. Make a conscious choice to say no more. All right? And then from there, with that beautiful container open, you can decide, what is it that I really desire for my relationship, for my body, for my business, and start to create and manifest those things into your life. So listen, here's 2 things I want to give you as we wrap up. First of all, I'm curious what's come up for you. So if you're listening to this in an email, please hit reply, share with me what's coming up for you. If you're watching this video on social media, comment below, share what's coming up for you. What do you know as a pattern from the past that you get to let go of? Secondly, I want to give you an opportunity to learn some of the 10 ways that I start to unlearn. So Mark and I have put together an amazing guide that is just 10 ways that we help our clients to unlearn. They're just quick little snippets of things, but it's about unlearning the ideas, the identities, the patterns, all the energies of the past, right? It's just disengaging from them. So if you guys want that, we're going to give you a link where you can download that free guide and you can just start to play with it, experiment, start to do some of those things on the list and see what comes up for you. And finally, if you're really ready to jump into this and you want some more support, you want to really start to understand more of yourself, I'm going to do a live training where I'm going to jump on with you guys on a live training call, a group call. It is going to be limited because I'm not going to have a ton of people on there. So we'll limit that call and I will do some live laser coaching with you guys to help you discover, your top blocks that your top patterns that have been repeating over and over again. So you start to know where we get to pull those layers back and make room for what we're going to create in the future. So you're going to leave that session getting very, very clear on some of those things and what you want to create, what your next steps are going to be. So if you want to jump on that live training, make sure that you click on the link, say yes to that invitation. Other than that, you guys have an amazing day. Thanks for joining me. Until next time, Happy New Year. I'm so excited about creating a life of passion and purpose every single day. Let's go get it.